1 minute to the start of the race.
All right.
45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race. Tommy Upsery, Josiah Schelling, Russell Thomas. 15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right. Well, are you guys already racing or no, this is warm-up. Easy. Somebody's going to scrape up that paint job, Russell. All right, Thunder RC Saturday off-road. Track change next Saturday. Anybody want to come help? Come on and help. We're moving dirt and everything. No racing next weekend, of course, and no practice the Wednesday after. Who what? Yeah. All right, need my marshals out here. Four-wheel drive Muggy A main. What you up to? Billy's not running and Ricardo's out. Or is Billy running? Okay. Okay. Yes, you have to marshal. Line them up to Sean's song, Your BQ. Oh, wow. Getting dissed over here on the driver's stand. Followed by Russell, Danny D, Tommy Ursery, Greg Blessing, Josiah, and Chad Matthews. You're fighting for one bump position, guys. One bump position only. Oh, almost forgot. Appreciate everybody coming out to Thunder RC. We race again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, everybody. I know it's Halloween weekend. If you come, I'll buy candy. I'll buy lots of candy. So 2 weeks from tonight. Hey, easy there, Rick. Again, appreciate everybody coming out. Once we start 2 weeks, we'll run all the way up to the weekend before Thanksgiving. So it'll be 4 weekends in a row starting in 2 weeks. So we'll get a good workout on that new layout that's going to go in next Saturday. What? We haven't drawn it up yet. There'll be jumps, there'll be slow parts and fast parts and off cambers and no wall rides. Yeah, you've killed enough of the people on the sweeper here. All right, drivers, are you ready for the B main? Drivers, on the tone, less than 5. And they're off. Oh, Danny D puts it straight into the wall off the start. Up at the front, it is Russell trying for that bump spot. Tommy Ursery right behind him in tow. Tashawn down to third. Looks like Josiah in that fourth spot. Greg up to fifth. Oh, trouble at the end of the straight. Watch the end of the straight. Wow. They are beating the living crap out of each other out there. Driving over each other. The battle up at the front. Tommy trying to chase down Russell. Russell in that sweet 311 paint job. Out there in that red and white. As he works his way in front into the 2.5 pack. The battle for third is a vicious one. Danny D trying to work his way through traffic there. Trying to work. Oh, he gets plowed. Josiah back into third. Danny up to third. Tashawn up to third. Down the straightaway. The battle for third
5
place.
minutes left.
As your leader works his way down the straightaway through the sweeper. Takes a Papham Chad there. Danny just trying to survive out there. The leader gets sideways. Tommy takes the lead. So Tommy Ursery into the lead now as Russell gets thrown back to second. Tommy in that white, yellow, and black. Russell going to try to chase him back down. Your leader in that, or second place in that red and white in front of the driver's stand. Tommy through the 2.5 pack. Russell works his way into the 2.5 pack. Third place is Danny D. Danny upside down in front of the driver's stand. Lets Greg Blessing up in the third place now. So Greg in that orange, followed by Josiah fighting for third and fourth. Russell into the pipe in front of the driver's stand. Marshall out there to get him. Wow. Told you to move. Tommy works his way through the traffic now. Coming up on Tashawn. He gets by him. Next person he'll see is probably Danny D, as Russell still in that second spot. Josiah in that third in the all-white ride. Works his way in front of the driver's stand. Tommy down the corkscrew. Catches the pipe. Oh, he catches up with D. Oh, the leader upside down. Russell through the sweeper. Going to close in on Tommy a little bit as Tommy works his way through the 2.5. Oh, he's in the wall again. So Tommy on the wall at Mount Thunder. Russell coming up behind him now as he works his way over Mount Thunder down the straightaway. Tommy in through the corkscrew. Russell up on the tabletop. Josiah right there behind Russell in the white. Tommy goes into 2.5 pack. Oh, he gets caught up. Pushes Danny D out of the way. Russell down the straightaway now. The gap, 2.2 seconds as Josiah in that third place. Greg in fourth, Tashawn in fifth, Danny D in sixth, and Chad in seventh. Your leader down the straightaway. Russell coming down the straightaway himself. Josiah. Oh, Russell throws it at the sweeper wall. Josiah tries it around the outside. The battle second and third down the corkscrew in front of the driver's stand. Russell in the red and white. Josiah in the all white. As Josiah tries to go inside, Russell, they go over Mount Thunder. They get caught up. Josiah gets out and gone. Russell falls down to fourth as Greg down the straightaway through the sweeper in that fifth spot. Russell gets spun around. Josiah in that second spot. Tommy now out and gone as Josiah works his way down the straightaway. The gap, 6.1 seconds. Russell works his way into the infield, trying to put a lap on D. D tries to get out of his way. Russell drives into him anyway. Blessing upside down. Tommy down the corkscrew. Tommy in that white, black, and yellow. Your leader right now looking for that bump spot. Josiah in the all white in front of the driver's stand trying to chase down Tommy. The gap was 5.1 seconds at the line. Josiah works his way down the straightaway, yanks the trigger, gets sideways into the sweeper. He's now 5.2 seconds behind. Tommy into the 2.5 pack. Russell trying to chase down Josiah. No, Tashawn up into that second spot. So Tyshawn works his way into the kicker, into the 2.5 pack now as Russell falls to fourth and Greg Blessing in fifth. Josiah now 5.1 seconds behind Tommy as Tommy works across the line. Josiah coming onto the straightaway over Mount Thunder. Josiah gets a little sideways coming through the sweeper. Loses a little bit of ground there. Tyshawn through the sweeper himself now. 5.6 seconds behind Josiah. Tyshawn when that caramel black and white going into the 2.5 pack, your third place buggy right
1
now.
minute left.
As Josiah in the all white works his way through the crosstown. Russell into the 2.5 pack. Your leader down the straightaway trying to get around Danny D. So Tommy 3.7 ahead now
left.
of Josiah as Josiah closes in with 45 seconds. Oh no, Josiah gets caught up on the wreck there between Chad and Russell. So Tommy getting a breather there.
Left.
Josiah across the line, 5.6 back. Tyshawn in third, Russell fourth, Greg fifth, Danny D in sixth, Chad in seventh. But your leader over down the corkscrew with 17 seconds to go.
Left.
Josiah across the line. Tommy coming over Mount Thunder. As Josiah works his way down the straightaway, will he get another lap?
Josiah Schelling
Josiah, second place is done. Tommy on his victory corners here
Russell
as
Thomas
he works his
done.
way onto the straightaway.
He's done.
Oh, he's going to do a couple of donuts on the straightaway just for effect.
Tommy Upsery done.
Tommy getting that bump
Chad
spot.
Matthews done.
As Josiah brings it home
done.
in second, Tyshawn in third, Russell in fourth, Greg fifth, Danny D sixth, and Chad in seventh.
The race is completed. James Horner, Troy Williams, Mark Thomas.
All right, drivers from last race, back
John
out the
Brumley.
Marshall. Drivers from last race,
Brad
back out the
Shelley.
Marshall. Because they're already wrecking out here.
Two minutes to the start
Run,
of the
Brad.
race.
I know I got a few back-to-back, but let's see here. Tyshawn's out here. Russell's out here.
Tommy Upsery,
Need Chad Matthews out here to Marshall. Why don't you grab the middle there? Hey, D. Hey, Danny. You got that far end? Yeah.
1 minute to the start of the race.
I need one more volunteer, Marshall.
Josiah Schelling, Greg
Hey.
Blessing. 45 seconds to the start of the race.
Hey, Chad, come up to the middle here. Yes, Chad.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
Watch it straight, watch it straight. All right, let's start lining them up. I'm going to give you the hard one this
15
time.
seconds to the start of the race.
All right. This is the B-Main two-wheel drive mod buggy for all the B marbles. James Horner, your BQ, followed by
Less
Mark
than
Thomas. Then Josiah, Tommy Ursery, your two-wheel drive bump man. Troy Williams. And then, let's see, hold it. Tommy Troy. Troy's in fifth. The all orange in fifth. Move that one back. Yeah, the all orange right there. And then the red, white, and blue in sixth. The blue and white, yellow, and then the other red, white, and blue. All right. Drivers. Josiah, you good? Okay. All right, drivers. B main, one bump only. Drivers on the tone, less than 5. Aye. James Honer out to the lead. Mark Thomas having a little trouble there. Tommy up in that second spot from that fourth starting position. But James in that green and blue X-ray, followed by Tommy in his X-ray. Looks like Troy Williams. Oh, James Horner gets out wide there. Lets Tommy inside for the lead. Down the straightaway, they both pull the trigger. Tommy going for the double bump today. Troy Williams in that third spot in the all-orange ride. Tommy through the sweeper. James right on his rear bumper. Troy in tow. Mark Thomas up in that fourth spot. Josiah. Oh, Troy upside down. Chad out there to Marshall.
5 minutes left.
Tommy coming up behind. Oh, he goes wide. James lets him back in front. So Tommy getting a little bit of help there from James. Oh, Tommy takes a pipe to Brumley there. James goes back inside trying to find a spot to round Tommy to pass him. I think he's just waiting to the end of the 6-minute run here. Oh, Tommy losing his body. Tommy pulling the Pac-Man. James to the lead as Tommy takes it to the pipe because his driver can't see. So James Horner up in that bump spot now, lead position down the straightaway through the sweeper in that blue and yellow. Tommy down to that second spot. Mark Thomas in third in the yellow and blue. Josiah followed by Troy, Greg, Brad, and John.
4 minutes left.
Your leader over the tabletop. Bounces off the corkscrew pipes through the crosstown pipes. Tommy trying to close back in. Troy still holding on to that fifth spot. Going to have to chase down Josiah in that red, black, and silver. But up at the front, the driver's coming up behind Greg right there. Although Greg's fighting it out with Brumley. Oh, Tommy drives over the top of Brumley and holds on to second. Mark Thomas in that third spot trying to close it. Oh, no, through the 2.5 pack. Looks like, yes, James Horner caught up through the 2.5 pack. Going to have Mark Thomas on his back bumper now. Mark in that yellow and blue. Josiah in that third spot, only a couple seconds behind. Trying to, fourth spot for Josiah as he works his way over Mountain Thunder. So first over the tabletop, second over the tabletop, third over the tabletop, fourth working their way over the tabletop, fifth in the all-orange of Troy Williams there, trying to work his way by Brumley. Your lead change up in the front, James, Tommy and James. Mark Thomas in the mix there, gets a little sideways coming through the crosstown. The battle, 1, 2, 3, into the 2.5 pack. They're looking for that bump spot. Tommy wants to do the double bump, but he's got body issues, and not just the ones on his car. Up in the front, it is James Horner coming up behind. Oh, Tommy gets caught up. So Mark Thomas up in the second now as James comes up behind Brumley. I can't call that one, James. You're going to have to work your way around him, bump him, do whatever you got. Mark Thomas, trouble for Mark
left.
Through the 2.5. Tommy gets back in the second. James gets a little bit of breathing room as he comes up on Troy Williams. Oh, Tommy into the pipe. Marshall in the middle. Marshall in the middle. Easy in the middle. Easy in the middle. Oh. So James, all kinds of breathing room, about 4.7 seconds. Mark Thomas and Josiah fighting it out for second and third. Oh, Josiah pops Mark. Mark goes for the jump. Oh, my gosh. Josiah up into that second spot now. Mark now got Tommy right. Oh, Josiah dead on the tabletop. Tommy up into the position. So Tommy up to second. Josiah, pull it, pull it. Don't lean, Josiah, don't lean. Still got cars out there racing. James Horner, your leader, works his way down the straightaway, coming up behind Troy. So the leader right behind goes by Troy there. Appreciate it. Second place now, Tommy Ursery. Mark Thomas still in that third spot. Troy Williams in fourth.
Left.
Greg Blessing going to move up to fifth. Marshall. Oh, trouble for Tommy. Out of the 2.5 pack. Oh, he rolls it onto the straight. Mark Thomas up in the second with 30 seconds to go, drivers. 30 seconds to go.
Left.
Trouble for Tommy is Mark in that second spot. The leader now lapping third. Sets his sights on lapping second place as he works his way down the straightaway. So it's James, Mark, Tommy,
left.
Troy. No, Troy up in third. Tommy right behind him. So the orange fighting it out with the yellow, black, and silver. 5 seconds to go. Troy, you're done. Tommy, you're done. James, Greg, you're done. Brad, you're done.
Blessing done. Brad Schelling done.
Waiting on
Mark Thomas done.
Mark and
John Brumley
James.
Done.
That's a race.
James
Everybody's
Horner
done. James Horner gets the bump on an absolute epic battle for the first, second, and third places.
The race is completed.
All right, 2-0 drive short course on the track.
Drew Williams. Cameron Kersel. Scott Kersel. Spencer Kersel.
Okay, Drew and Spencer, no stunt driving.
2 minutes to the start of the race.
Don't forget, we will water the track before the mod buggy A main. We'll take a 5-minute water break before the mod buggy A main. All right, I got everybody checked in. Aye. Well, no, Ford was your TQ, but that lets since he went home, that lets Drew Williams jump up to that number 1 spot, followed by Scott, Cameron, and Spencer. Scott in the blue, Cameron in the red, and Spencer in the all white. Nope, back 1, Spencer. He's third. No, in your hand, third.
1 minute to the start of the race.
All right, we have marshals in 4 corners, 6 corners, as James is going to fresh off his bump position. Going to go marshal down there.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
You ready? All right. Drivers, short course, 2-wheel drive mod, on the tone, Less than. What are you doing?
30 seconds to the start of the race.
Oh, you do it again, you go to the back. Oh, yes. You jump again, you go to the back. All right, drivers, are we ready?
15 seconds to the start of the race.
On the tone, less than 5. There we go, and we're off and running. Drew Williams out to the lead. Scott gets a little sideways there. Got Spencer and Cameron already putting pressure. Oh, no. Scott upside down. Spencer upside down. Cameron up into that second spot. Oh, Spencer gets into Scott as they fall a little bit further back to Cameron as Cameron works his way down the straightaway. Oh, Cameron upside down through the straightaway. Scott takes the free shot, jumps up into that second position with Spencer in that third spot. Cameron down to fourth. Drew Williams out and gone. He has said, I'm going to check out on this one and walk away with her. Down the straightaway, the battle right now, second, third, and fourth. Oh, no, it's trouble for Spencer as he catches the pipe. Can't drive over it, drives out of it. Little help from the marshal there, gets him going straight again as he falls further back to Cameron. Scott down the straightaway through the
5
sweeper.
minutes left.
Oh, he puts it up the wall a little bit. Lets Cameron close in on him a little bit. Spencer works his way through the sweeper. Your leader down the straightaway in that blue and orange, Drew Williams. Oh, the leader rolls it. And puts it up on two wheels. That's going to look good in the video. But it is Scott trying to close in on Drew. Scott about 7 seconds back. Cameron 2.5 behind. Scott now just a slight bit further. Spencer about 7 seconds back in that fourth position. But your leader, Drew Williams, in that blue and orange, got his batteries fully charged in his radio, we hope. As he works his way onto the straightaway. Spencer trying to hold on to the lead lap there. Got the leader right behind him. Might be blocking for his dad, I'm not sure. Drew trying to work his way through traffic.
4 minutes
Spencer
left.
yanks the trigger down the straight. Oh, second place. Tumbles through the 2.5 pack. Drew trying to find everything he can to get around Spencer. Spencer finally puts it over the pipe. Drew gets by to put a lap down on him. Sets his sights on pulling further away from Scott. As Scott in the all blue ride, your second place truck. Got Cameron in that red and white in third, and the white 17 of Spencer in that fourth position. Your leader down the straightaway. Scott works his way onto the straightaway, trying to chase down Drew. The gap was 4.4, still 4.4. Scott not closing in any as Drew and Scott almost go lap for lap.
Three minutes left.
So Drew Williams trying to work his way out now, out to a 4.8 second lead as he pulls off another 0.4 of a second gap over Scott. As Scott now about 9 seconds up on Cameron. Cameron about 9 seconds up on Spencer. Scott down across the line. Loses a little bit there. As Cameron having some trouble getting onto the straightaway there. The leader right behind Cameron. Drew playing it smart there. Oh, he drives his way around Cameron as Scott finds his way through the walls, works his way back down the corkscrew. Going to let Cameron close in on him a little bit. As Cameron comes across the line, Scott was 4.9 at the gap, now down to 7.6 second gap. As Drew
2 minutes left.
trying to stretch it out here. Scott, the faster truck on the track here with a 16.1 to Drew's 16.5 fast lap. So Scott might have a chance to close in with the remaining 2 minutes in the race here. As Drew works his way through the 2.5 pack over Mount Thunder down the straightaway. Oh, trouble for Scott through the sweeper. The gap now 8 seconds. Cameron about 14 seconds back. Spencer 10 seconds behind Cameron. So Spencer closing in just a little bit maybe on Cameron. As Cameron works his way across the line, Spencer through the 2.5 pack.
One minute left.
The gap now 11 seconds as Drew. Oh, the leader rolls it. Catches the pipe and rolls it there before the 2.5 pack. The gap was 11.9, but now going to be slightly
45
closer.
seconds left.
Although 45 seconds to go, I don't know if Scott can. Oh, Scott throws it over the wrong side of the pipe. Gives Cameron back his lap. As Spencer catches the pipe.
30 seconds left.
Your leader across the line with 30 seconds to go is Drew Williams in that orange and blue. He's looking to come up to put a lap on Scott if he can tighten it up a little bit.
15 seconds left.
Scott over the tabletop. Drew works his way over the tabletop. Scott in that blue. Drew in the orange and blue. Your first, second place trucks. Cameron still in third. Spencer fourth. When you hit the line, you'll be
Cameron
done.
Purcell done. Scott
Drew
Purcell
Williams
done.
taking the win.
Drew Williams done.
In mod short course, followed by
Spencer
Scott,
Purcell
Cameron,
done.
and Spencer. Good job, guys. 21 laps for Drew, 20 for Scott, 19 for Cameron, and 19 for Spencer. Spencer only finished 7 seconds behind
The
Cameron.
race is completed.
Stock buggy. I'll need a couple volunteer marshals for this also. What do you... Drew, fresh off his win, up there dancing on the driver's stand.
Two minutes to the start of the race. John Brumley.
Here comes Taylor. Drew's already on the driver's stand. I see Mark up there. Scott Fuller working up his buggy. Maybe...
Mark Thomas.
Hey, Scott. Give him a little help. Nope. Never mind. Thank you, Troy. Run, Mark. Well, not enough.
Drew Williams. Taylor Lowry. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race.
Just trying to bind. Wall.
30 seconds to the start of the race. "15 seconds to the start of the race.
Watch you straight.
Less than 5.
No. All right. Scott says he's out. Mark breathed a sigh of relief. Cherry picker. Aye, line them up. Mark, Drew, John, and Taylor. Mark, Drew, John, and Taylor. The orange and blue is second. Oh, he's coming? Oh, he got it going. The yellow, that's fourth. That's back one, back one. All right, Taylor. When the buzzer goes off, pull the trigger. Okay. Hey, check in, Scott. Make sure I got the right transponder. Watch the straight, watch the straight, watch the straight. Oh. You got Brumley.
Scott Fuller.
Scott, his RC10 re-release. Vintage. Hey, Scott. Oh, never mind. All right, drivers. We'll fix Drew here. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. Are we ready? All right. Drivers, on the tone, less than 5. Oh, Drew over the pipe. Brumley. Drew fighting out for that second and third as Scott Fuller gets around him up to second already. So Drew in that third spot. Scott down the straightaway in second. Mark Thomas, your leader, works his way through the crosstown. Scott in that orange and gray RC10 re-release. Goes for the 2.5 pack. It's got enough re-release parts on it. Oh no, Fuller broke. As Mark Thomas sighs a relief again. Mark in the lead, followed by Drew in the blue and orange down the straightaway. Taylor in that fourth spot, Brumley in third. So Mark out to a 7-second lead over Drew Williams. As Mark in that blue-orange-blue, Drew in the blue and orange, Brumley in the all-yellow, up about 13 seconds on Taylor.
For minutes left.
Drew through the sweeper, Mark into the 2.5 pack. Oh, your leader rolls it into the sweeper. 3 Marshall's out there to marshal him. Going to let Drew close in on him. The gap was 8.5. Drew in that blue and orange in front of the driver's stand in that second place. Oh, Scott gets out there. Might get into the mix here with Mark as Scott down a few laps. So Drew now 7.6
3
seconds
minutes
back.
left.
Brumley only 9.7 behind Drew. Scott could be the outcome, though. I don't know. Troy might pay Scott off $1. Hey, don't you owe Troy some help for peeling him back in the day? Mark comes across in front of the driver's stand. Drew works his way over Mount Thunder. So Mark coming up to put a lap on Drew, as Drew having a hard lap there.
Two minutes left.
Scott got the wing a little high. The wings for rollover protection. So it's Mark, Drew, John, Taylor, and Scott. Watch the sweeper. Oh, trouble for your leader there as he puts a lap on Drew. Scott trying to get one of his laps back from Brumley. Watch the straight, watch the straight, watch the straight. No parking on the straight. Watch straight, go low, go high. I don't know where to go.
1 minute left. .45 seconds left.
Mark out to a 23-second lead. Brumley about 15 seconds behind Drew. Taylor a few laps down to Brumley, and Scott about 3 laps down to Taylor.
30 seconds left.
All right, we will water after this race. We will water after this race. We will do a 5-minute water.
15 seconds left.
Mark, Drew, John, Taylor, and Scott.
Mark Thomas done.
Run, Drew.
Taylor Lowry done.
Wow.
Drew Williams done. Scott Fuller done. John Brumley done.
That's a race. Everybody's done. Mark takes it 22 laps. Drew 21. John 20. Taylor 17. Scott with
The
15.
race is completed.
All right. Scott's going to water the track for 5 minutes. I will need some volunteer marshals. We good, Scott? All right.
6 minutes to the start of the race. Five minutes to the start of the race.
We'll need some volunteer marshals. This will be a 10-car E-main.
4 minutes to the start of the race.
Last layout, run on the layout for two-wheel drive mod buggy, 10 cars. Actually, nope, 9 cars. Tommy Rogers went home too.
Tommy Upseries.
Wow, these guys aren't even waiting for it to dry. Watch the straight, watch the straight. Marshall on the straight.
Jeremy Daniel. Zach Noya. Disria Osborne. Three minutes to the start of the race. James Horner. Daniel Fuscoat. 2 minutes to the start of the race. Scott Fuller.
Watch the sweeper. Easy on the warm-ups, guys.
Eddie Leonard.
Wow. You gonna be able to hold on to that, Jeremy? All right, just waiting on Barron to check. Just waiting on Barron to check. All right, we got 6 marshals. 9 drivers. Line
John
them up.
Barron 2. 1 minute to the start of the race.
All right, line them up. Zach Noya, your TQ for two-wheel drive mod buggy. Straightaways closed. Straightaways closed.
To the start of the race.
Followed by Scott Fuller.
"30 seconds to the start of the
then
race."
John Barron. Jeremy Daniel, Israel in the 5th spot.
15 seconds to the start
Move
of
up
the
there,
race.
Israel. He's 5th. Eddie in 6th. James
Less
in
than 5.
7th. No, 8th. James in 8th. 8th. No. Hold on. Yeah, you're 8th, James. Tommy's at the back, then Fusco, then James. Okay, that looks right. All right. Are we good? All right, drivers. The A-Main last laps on the layout for two-wheel drive mod buggy. On the tone, less than 5. Barron with a little stagger start. Gets a little bit of gap on Jeremy, but Jeremy not letting him get away. Up in the front, Scott putting pressure on Zach. Zach through the 2.5, upside down. Scott takes the lead. John Barron and Zach fighting out for that second, third spot with Jeremy in tow. Zach takes it to the pipe. John up in the second. Jeremy into third. Zach down to fourth. Israel in 5th. Looks like Fusco in 6th. Followed by Eddie. Tommy. Oh, nope. James Horner moving up a position in front of Tommy. As Tommy, your bump driver, falling back to the back of the pack. Trouble for. Oh, no.
5 minutes left.
Eddie tries to miss Fusco there and loses a spot to Horner. Horner goes sideways through the 2.5 pack. The battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th there over the tabletop. Up at the front, it is Scott Fuller now out to a 2.5 second gap over Jeremy Daniel. Oh, trouble for John Barron there. Takes it to the pipe through the crosstown, lets Zach up, but Zach trouble through the 2.5 pack. So Barron back in the third. Oh, Jeremy takes it to the pipe. Falls back to fourth. He's got Israel on his back bumper now. Oh, Zach and John take trouble. Zach upside down. Nobody wants second place. But Jeremy's got it right now. They're 8 seconds behind Scott Fuller now. Israel up in that third spot. So Israel in that purple and yellow in that third behind Jeremy. So it's Associated, Losi, Serpent, X-Ray. Scott Fuller, your leader, cranking it around, already starting the lap, middle of the field here. Coming up behind Zach. Fuller gets his way through. Gets a lot of breathing room as Jeremy Daniel into the 2.5 pack. Israel in that third spot. John Barron in fourth down the straightaway. Israel about 2.5 back. Oh, trouble through the 2.5. Easy through the 2.5. Barron traction rolls. Fuller coming up to put a lap on fourth if he can hold on to it here, as he has already put 5th place Zach Noya down a lap. Eddie and Tommy still fighting it out for that 8th and 9th
3
place.
minutes left.
Oh, no, Tommy's dead. Watch it through the 2.5 pack. Easy through the 2.5 pack. Oh, that was your leader upside down through the 2.5. Couldn't see, but Jeremy now 4.3 seconds back as Jeremy gains 4 seconds. Jeremy in that red and blue through the 2.5 pack in second. Scott Fuller across the tabletop coming up to put a lap on Barron. Barron falls to 5th. Oh, trouble coming on the straightaway. Israel catching up with Eddie there. Zach Noye closing out on Israel. So Zach and Israel fighting out the purple, pink, and yellow and blue. Zach goes inside, pulls the trigger, works his way onto the straightaway, taking that position down as Zach moves up to 3rd. Israel down to 4th. Barron in 5th. Scott Fuller still out to a 5-second lead, though.
2 minutes
as
left.
Jeremy trying to pace him lap for lap. Zach Noye on a tear here with a 13.4 fast lap. So Scott out to a 5.4 second lead. Zach 5 seconds behind Jeremy in that 3rd spot. Israel 1.4 behind Zach. Barron 0.3. So Barron and Israel fighting it in front of the driver's stand there. Green and black and purple and yellow. As Israel gets a little wide there. Barron tries to throw it through but can't hold on to it. Gets lapped by Scott. See, Daniel Fusco about 6 seconds behind John Barron as Fusco works his way onto the straightaway. He's got James Horner about half a corner behind him as Zach puts a lap on Fusco. Horner through the crosstown. Fusco catches the pipe in front of the driver's stand. Fusco into the 2.5 pack. Horner into the 2.5 pack.
1 minute
Rolls
left.
But your leader, Scott Fuller, works his way onto the straightaway. Coming up behind Horner right now. Scott in that orange. Trouble for Barron there. Going to let Fusco close even further on him. But no, Fusco
left.
just coming across the line. Barron in front of the bathroom. Trouble through the 2.5 pack. Everybody getting caught up there. 9 cars out on the track. A lot of traffic as Zach
30 seconds left.
up about 13 seconds on John. John up 7/10 on Israel. So Israel and John into that 2.5 pack right in front of Eddie Leonard. Eddie in that 8th place. Watch the sweeper go low, and the sweeper low, and the sweeper low, and the
left.
sweeper. So Fuller now out to a 2.9 second lead. Jeremy closing in on him, tracing him down.
James
When you hit the
Horner
line,
done.
you're done.
Daniel Fusco done. Scott Fuller done. Jeremy Daniel done.
Hi.
Zach Noye done. John
Good
Barrett
job,
done.
Zach.
Disria Osborne done.
It was lucky it was
Eddie
the rear
Leonard done.
wing. You just slapped in the face with your wing, Zach. Okay. Okay, appreciate it. Zach goes 13-1 on the last lap. He didn't turn, though, at the end of the straight. He drove up and slapped Scott over here in the face.
The race is completed.
Watch the straight. Clear. All right, drivers from last race. Whoever's not running in this one, back out to Marshall.
Rick Hess. Disria Osborne.
Right, Zach. Okay. Zach in the middle. Fast lap gets you the middle. Yeah. Let the old guy sit down.
2 minutes to the start of the race. Daniel Fusco. James Horner, Eddie Leonard, Scott Fuller,
Deshaun.
1 minute to the
In middle of
start
the front of the
race.
driver's stand. All right. Danny D go home, and Billy went home, so this is it. Line them up.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, Scott Fuller, your TQ in four-wheel drive mod buggy. Deshaun.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, Isaiah, second qualifier. Sweet. Rick Hess bringing it home in third
15
qualifier.
seconds to the
Followed
start
by
of the
Daniel,
race.
Eddie, and James. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Less than 5.
All right. Zach, start at the end and come forward. All right, drivers on the tone, less than 5. And they're off. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Isaiah catches the pipe at the corkscrew. Rick in that second spot. Last run on the S-Works. Eddie up third, James fourth, Daniel fifth, Isaiah sixth. Oh, Isaiah up to fifth, Daniel down to sixth. Trouble through the 2.5 pack. Eddie Leonard backwards. Isaiah moving around him. As Rick getting pressure from Horner. See if Scott Fuller can check out. Oh, Horner with the inverted front jump. That was pretty cool. That gets you an extra bonus lap there. Rick, Horner, Isaiah through the 2.5 onto the straightaway. That
5
battle
minutes left.
for second, third, and fourth. As they say in Alabama, oh, Horner upside down, falls to fourth. Isaiah up into that third spot. Rick with those slipping slippers. So Horner trying to close back in on Isaiah. The battle back for the Serpents between Eddie and Daniel. Oh, trouble for Isaiah. Lets Horner around. So it's X-Ray, S-Works, Losi, X-Ray, Serpent.
4 minutes left.
Oh, trouble for Rick goes out wide. Horner is Isaiah pouncing on him. The battle, second, third, and fourth into the 2.5 pack again. Horner tries to go wide. Throw a blanket over him for the battle for second. Eddie gets caught up in Mount Thunder. Isaiah goes out wide. Horner tries to close, but Isaiah throws it over the 2.5 pack. Oh, he loses to Daniel, so Daniel up in the mix now as Fusco gets around Isaiah. Sets his sights on James. Fusco coming from the back of the pack, trying to close back in now, up in that fourth spot. James over the tabletop, Fusco over the tabletop, Isaiah over the tabletop. Rick now 6 seconds back to the leader, Scott Fuller.
3 minutes left.
Oh, Horner taps Daniel around, so Daniel up in the third, Horner down the fourth. As Isaiah not letting those drivers get away. Daniel works his way through the field here, trying to work his way up onto Rick as Rick goes into the 2.5 pack. Daniel in that Serpent trying to bring her to the front. Rick now about 6 seconds back. Daniel now 3.4 behind Rick. Daniel takes the tap. Is Raya? No, Horner around. So James back up in that third spot. Daniel down to fourth as the battle third and fourth down the straightaway. James showing a little bit more horsepower coming through the sweeper as he stretches it out just ever so slightly. Rick out there whistling through his teeth.
2 minutes left.
Of his S-Works. So the battle now, James and Daniel, third and fourth place. They go through the crosstown in front of the driver's stand. Is Ryan now falling just slight back, 1.6 seconds back. Eddie now about 6 seconds behind in that sixth spot. So is Ryan down over the tabletop, Eddie over Mount Thunder. Oh, James gets a little crazy going into the 2.5 after getting loose. Daniel takes it to the pipe on the straightaway. Raya closes right back in on him, now 6/10 behind Daniel. As Scott looking to put a lap on fifth place, he's got about a 7-second gap over Rick Hess. The battle now is Raya and Daniel fighting it out for fourth and fifth.
1 minute
through
left.
the crosstown. Oh, as Raya rolls it. As Daniel rolls it through the 2.5, Scott rolls into him. Is Raya now on Daniel's rear bumper again?
45 seconds
The gap,
left.
3/10 between Daniel and Raya fighting it out for that fourth and fifth position. Eddie now only 4 seconds back. James 3 seconds behind Rick. Daniel 4 seconds behind James. Trouble for Raya. Oh no, he throws it the wrong side of the pipe.
Left.
He's going to have Eddie on his back bumper now. So Eddie and Raya fighting. Oh, and he takes it to the pipe. Had a chance there, but blows it on the tabletop.
15 seconds left.
So 15 seconds to go, drivers. The gap now, 8 seconds between Scott and Rick. Oh, Daniel upside down on the straightaway.
Desiree Osborne.
Desire,
done.
you're done.
Rick,
Rick, you're done.
James,
James,
Horner
you're done. Scott, you're
Fuller
done.
done.
Eddie, you're done. Waiting
Eddie
on
Lemon's
Daniel. Don't kill anybody, please.
Daniel Foos.
Aye, that's a race and a main.
The race is completed.
Again, appreciate it by coming out to Thunder RC as Scott takes that, followed by Rick, James, Daniel, Raya, and Eddie.
Rick Hess.
Hibachi.
Fifteen 7. Fourteen 9. Sixteen 1. 17-9.